Hey Andrew, my name's Dean and I'm from Illinois, and I want to know how you think AI and other advancing technology will affect the industry.
Couldn't be more casual, by the way. I like it. How will AI, let's just call it software, technology, software, whether it's a neural network or AI, how will it change the industry? We're already seeing it, but we will be doing less tedious stuff that we already hate doing. So, rotoscoping, retopo, um, uh, fleshing out technical details in a painting, like Nvidia Canvas, that tool that sort of you put in where you want things, and then it draws, the details for you, so that then you actually get to do the creative storytelling bit. Like facial, deep fake, like all this stuff. It's the manual tedious stuff, right? Like if you're working in a crunch factory doing 12 hours a day, rotoscoping something, like you must know that what you're doing with a pen tool, clicking and click like that, like it's low skill, right? Like some of it I could almost train my 3-year-old to do it. It's like, you see this frame here where all the points align with the body, now it's one frame ahead and just move the points across, right? Like you must know that that's pretty like mundane. So that kind of job is ripe for technological replacement, right? But here is why that doesn't matter. For starters, nobody got into this after seeing, like Jurassic Park crashing through a fence in 1993 and going like, oh boy, when I grow up, I hope I work in a crunch factory for 12 hours a day, rotoscoping out Emma Stone's hair in the background shot of Cruella. Nobody wants to do this stuff, right? We all got into it to tell stories, to make, Star Wars inspired spaceship fights and dinosaurs crashing through fences, to tell, to be creative, right? Like that's kind of the whole point of this. It's what it's fun. The second reason is that yes, while some jobs will disappear, the when you reduce the cost of producing something, overall the new job opportunities rise. So, as an example, Jurassic Park, 1993, back then, the only people who could afford to do CG were Hollywood, to throw hundreds of millions of dollars at a project, to hire the very best technical team with the best machines and the computers. The only people who could achieve this thing was Hollywood when they threw hundreds of millions of dollars at it. Right? Commercials couldn't do it. Music videos weren't CG. I mean, a couple, but it was primarily just a small, tiny amount. Now, compare that today to the number of people in CG is insane. It's probably not 100x, probably not even 1,000x. It might be 10,000x in terms of jobs, because the cost is now so cheap that it is in basically every music video. It's in almost all commercials. A lot of jobs that were typically done photography or videography, like product visualization, right? Any electronic device, basically any commercial, any visualization there, that's CG now. All the Apple stuff, shoe commercials, furniture, IKEA, all that stuff. What else? There's, the game industry, right? Stuff that used to take hundreds of artists is now being done by 3, right? With a free piece of Unreal Engine software. It's huge. And that's not even getting into the, new jobs that, previously didn't even exist before, like virtual streamers, what else was it? I think I had a list of, some other jobs that I thought of. Virtual production, right? Looking at... completely replacing sets, like set design now, like set dressing that used to have to be done by, physically set up actors in an apartment. Now you just put an LED volume around them, an Unreal Engine, and build the apartment in the background. That's huge in itself. And then there's virtual influencers, which a lot of people don't even realize is a thing. But there's virtual influencers. There's a new company that I saw that is creating, virtual mascots for these influencers that want to have, be able to sell toys. So they're creating this, I think it was was it Charlie D'Amelio or something has got this pretend teddy bear thing, and it's fully, so there's a company that just does this, creates virtual IP for an influencer. All this stuff is completely new. The number of jobs that this is creating is insane. If you wanted to pick an industry whereby you had job security, hard to pick a better industry. I mean, I guess maybe like programming or something, but even that, I mean, look, like there's so much opportunity here that like this small fringe of like, you know, that there's a person who works 12 hours a day, you know, doing rotoscoping, and they're going to lose their job. Like, for starters, they won't lose their job if they're any good at what they do, because they're going to be doing other stuff. They'll be able to spend their time doing other things. They'll be able to move up in the company. They'll be able to, you know, whatever. You should be learning new skills. That's the only thing that really is dependable on the future. Like, you don't know what's going to happen in the future, but the one thing you can guarantee is change. Things will always change, right? There's not a job on earth where you don't need to learn new things. There's definitely jobs where you need to learn less than other jobs. Obviously, some jobs are faster moving than others, and CG is definitely on that faster edge. But there's no job where that's not true. Bookkeepers, you know, have to learn the new technologies, right, to balance books faster. There are, it's you know, it's huge. So, new technology is a very good thing, and I think that a lot of the discussion that you see in comments or, you know, on Twitter, people freaking out that like, oh, this, you know, Nvidia canvas thing is like, you just draw basic block shapes. You go ground here, cube here for this shape and this thing, and then it goes like brrr, bing, and then it puts it in, and then you go, let's make it look cloudy and overcast. Let's make it look sunny. It just kind of like does it on the fly. Well, Jama Jurababe, who I interviewed for the last podcast, he's like, it's still like, you have to be an artist to know how to make it look good, right? All that other stuff, like detailing the rocks and putting the moss here and all that kind of stuff, that is just time consuming. The stuff that matters is the storytelling. It's the creative part. It's the knowing where to put the things and put the light and tell a story with the characters that go through the mountains in the right shot and visualize it in different moods and different atmospheres and be able to work with a director or tell your own unique story in a unique way. That's the stuff that this algorithm has no idea what to do, right? So you still need to infuse it with that. In fact, if you listen to any sort of like AI experts or anyone in the technology space, I was listening to one with Naval Ravikant the other day, and he's, like a huge investor in Silicon Valley. He's like, the one job that you can almost, like, that is the most hard to do is creativity. Like, computers, that is the last thing. So, you know, if you got into this space to do CG the way almost all of us did, which is to tell stories and have fun and make new things that look cool, keep doing that. You will be absolutely fine, and you will love the fact that the technology is enabling you to do what previously had to be done with a team of 50, you can now do with yourself. Like, there was a great great animation that I talked about in my recent newsletter. This Week in 3D, by the way, I talk about this exact stuff about technology and rotoscoping and all the new stuff that I discover every week. I put it in this newsletter. So blenderguru.com/This Week in 3D. You can subscribe to that. But yeah, there was this short film, and it was done with like got people to wear mocap suits. He bought a pack off of Big Medium Small, Jama Jurabev stuff, which is like this. He bought this like wasteland nuclear kind of pack of assets. Got people to wear mocap suits, and then shot in real time with Unreal Engine a 4-minute short film in like a month. 1 month, fully CG, 4 minutes. That's insane. That has never happened before. To do something of that scale with that small a team is huge, and it's just gonna get cheaper. It's just gonna get even better and better and better and better. So, you know, it might be one day, I don't know, most creative jobs could be in 3D, right? I mean, you just have to look at Adobe. They know the writing's on the wall that Photoshop and all these 2D tools are being replaced by 3D because the advantages of 3D are huge. If you can just reduce the technical burden and the number of clicks and tedious stuff, then the advantages for 3D are huge. So it's great. AI is awesome. Neural networks, machine learning, tech is great. Embrace it and enjoy the ride. It's going to make everything better and faster and cheaper. So that is my answer to you, Dean. Next question.